Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first ever IGSHPA Awards Dinner. We're so excited that you could join us here tonight. We envision this dinner as becoming a part of the IGSHPA tradition, something that people look forward to every year. Because at its core, this dinner isn't about IGSHPA or even the manufacturers who joined together to help sponsor it. It's all about you. This dinner was created to recognize outstanding achievements, innovative applications, new technologies, and friends of the industry. There are so many unsung heroes among us that push adoption and innovation in our industry day in and day out. You fight to get geothermal included in homes, schools, hospitals, stadiums, offices, hotels, military bases, restaurants, and even in legislation. While we can't recognize you all, we want to try and recognize at least some of you every year with this new event. Because each and every one of us in this room is here for the same ultimate reason. Each of you is important to the industry, and each of you are geothermal champions, true believers. You're tireless advocates of a technology that we all believe to our core is not only the best way to heat and cool buildings, but the right thing to do. We offer the most efficient, quietest, safest, cleanest, longest lasting heating and cooling system on the planet. And that deserves a little recognition. So, without further ado, let's get to the awards. The first award of the night is the Residential Innovation Award, and to help me present this award, I'll be joined on stage by John Thomas, President and CEO of Water Furnace International. The Residential Innovation Award recognizes noteworthy or innovative residential products that utilize ground source heat pump technology. The winner of the first Residential Innovation Award is George Bean. This award will be accepted on his behalf by Lisa Moline. Lisa Moline. George is the developer of an all-geothermal community in Jamestown, California, that's pushing geothermal adoption in a difficult, cost-prohibitive market. Despite including geothermal heat pumps, the designs meet and exceed the formidable Title 24 compliance process. Congratulations.
I'd like, on behalf of Ola Properties, I'd like to thank you for this award, and I want to recognize Scott Canning, if you'd at least stand up, Scott. He's the general contractor on the project, and he's a little too bashful to come up, but this is yours. I'm going to bring it to you right now.
All right, the next award is the Commercial Innovation Award. This award recognizes noteworthy or innovative commercial projects that utilize a ground source or heat pump technology. The winner of the Commercial Innovation Award is Jorg Zudona. Jorg is an IGSHPA manufacturer member and CEO of GeoCoax. His unique project in Harmony, Pennsylvania utilizes a new innovative ground exchanger that reduces drilling requirements and reduces ground loop installation costs. Congratulations.
The team of GeoCoax and myself personally are deeply honored to be the recipient of this award. And it's humbling for us to be recognized by such an amazing organization like the IGSHPA. And my sincere thanks also goes to the distinguished members of the IGSHPA technology panel who have identified our innovation and technology as a worthy recipient of this prestigious award. And one thing, on yesterday's leadership panel, Michael Albertson said or recommended to the industry to also concentrate and focus on R&D on the loop side in order to reduce the biggest deal breaker in our industry, the first cost. And GeoCoax is a game-changing technology and will help the industry to be more competitive. And yeah, I would like to see you on our booth over there tomorrow if you haven't been there. Thank you very much.
To give the next awards, we're going to have Roshan Ravenkar come up and give those.
Thank you. What a fantastic evening it is today. For the last 30 years, IGSHPA's annual conference has served as a homecoming for our membership. It also gives us the opportunity to recognize the time and effort put in by our members. Remember, it's their volunteer time that they put in towards making this organization bigger and better every single year. We would like to take this opportunity to recognize 3 committee chairs and a couple board members for the time and effort that they put in serving the term. To help me present this token of appreciation, I'd like to invite John Turley, past president, IGSHPA, to help me do the honors. At this point, I would like to recognize our marketing chair for 2015-2016, Brian Erlob. Brian, other than doing a good job at biking and flexing his muscles, has done a fantastic job with the Geo Outlook transition that happened over the last 2 years. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Sure.
I just want to say thank you, and it's been my pleasure, obviously, to serve as marketing committee chair. The only other thing I really want to say is I've got 20 years to hopefully someday get as many tags on here as Jack Tiana. So that's my goal, and I'm going to keep working and hopefully continue to support the industry the best I can. So thank you.
The next committee chair recognition I have on my list is our training committee chair, Ed Lorenz. Ed has done a phenomenal work with a couple of our new courses that we put together with his experience in design. So thank you, Ed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. It's due to all of the membership that I've called on a lot of times to help put a lot of the training courses together. Without that, wouldn't have happened. Thank you very much.
The next award is for our past standards chair, whom we all know as the lady with multiple hats, Lisa Moline. Lisa has done an incredible job, not just with the IGSHPA standards, but with her work at IAPMO, CSA, ASHRAE, and the list just goes on and on. Thank you, Lisa.
So I'm not going anywhere. I'm just not going to be the chair anymore. And I'm pretty good at herding cats, so thanks to all you cats that served on my committee.
Thank you, John. We'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize a couple of our board members, and to help me do that, if I could call on stage Garen Eubank, the current IGSHPA president. IGSHPA board members are elected by the membership, as you've probably heard in the opening session. We've opened up the voting to all our members, including individual members. And we've had the pleasure to have a couple of the board members I'm going to present now help us serve and especially begin the transition to make IGSHPA a truly member-driven organization. At this point, I'd like to call Alan Scobie for his service on the IGSHPA board for 2015-2016. Alan was here, but looks like he's fixing some grout. I'd like to also call upon our next past board member, Jack Heinrich. As most of you know, Jack has been on the advisory council as a chair and served in and had many different roles at IGSHPA. So we thank you for your services, Jack. Thank you.
You told me I had to.
Good deal.
Unlike Lisa, I am going away, but watch your back because I will be sneaking up with things that you can't imagine. And many of you people know I have a really good imagination, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Outside of the IGSHPA fraternity, we'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize one gentleman who's been a stalwart with the Groundwater Association. He has served as the executive director for 22 years at National Groundwater. And when I looked up his LinkedIn profile to find out what he did before those 22 years, it said 10 years in various roles at NGWA. Kevin, your publications and your efforts for the ground source heat pump industry have been widely recognized by all our members. So as you retire at the end of 2017, we'd like to take this opportunity to have you on stage and recognize all your efforts. Kevin McRae, NGWA. Thank you very much, sir.
I started the association in 1979, so that probably makes a lot of you feel really young. I remember. And my first assignment there was to be editor of Groundwater Heat Pump Journal, 1979, 1980. So it's been connected to this industry for a long time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Garen. I also have the honor to announce one of the 5 manufacturer awards from this Manufacturer Awards dinner. The next award is the Friends of the Industry Award. This award is given to folks that are not necessarily directly part of our industry, but have had their contributions which have made a difference to ground source heat pumps and the industry in general. The winner of this award for 2017 is Mukta Tumkur. And to help us give this award, I'd like to call Steve Smith. Mukta, as a program manager of CSA, had identified a need, an opportunity for the binational standard. She garnered experts and stakeholders, and with over 20 months of work, we have a unified binational standards. Thank you, Mukta.
Thank you very much. I'm really so honored to receive this because the 5 years that I've worked in renewable and energy included ground source heat pumps. And I can honestly say that it has not felt like work because I was doing what I was really passionate about, and that's to protect the environment for future generations. And I totally believe that all of what you're doing as well supports that. So I'm really proud to be getting something like this. And the past 5 years has also given me a tremendous opportunity to meet with some of the most brilliant minds in North America who are designing and installing and drilling and so on. And it's your energy and your motivation and your commitment to the industry that has inspired and motivated me to do my best. And I thank you very much.
The next three awards are a bit of a surprise for the award recipients. And to help us recognize the effort and time that they've put in to make this conference a successful one, I'd like to call on stage Dean Ed Kirtley to help us present these three awards. Next award I want to present is called the Standing Ovation Award. And this award is presented by the IGSHPA Board of Directors for the time and effort put in to make this conference really successful. He became the chair of this conference committee in the middle of the session and planning, and just made this a fantastic conference. We'd like to call Tim Litton for a fantastic job for this conference. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. I really appreciate this honor. I really didn't expect it. I don't remember seeing this in rehearsal. I'm just glad that my group can come and help bring some value to this event, because it's really a valuable event, and we just want to make sure that it is as valuable as it can be. So, thank you again for the award. I was surprised, yeah.
The next recognition we have in store is called the Above and Beyond Award. This award goes to the gentleman who has been known for his research abilities throughout our industry, not just in the United States, but beyond our borders. He's put in the time and effort over the last 1 year to make one of our tracks a really, really successful one. It's my honor to have been one of his students and to be standing in front of you guys and recognize all the work he has done. Dr. Jeff Spittler. Thank you. Please.
It's very kind of you, considering I missed 27 straight conference committee teleconferences while I was working on organizing the papers. But I had a lot of help from the Executive Scientific Committee, including Dr. Jalin and Professor Fang, maybe here somewhere, I don't know where, and also Dr. Simon Rees and Professor Michelle Bernier, who
is snowed in Canada. So, I'd like to thank all the authors and reviewers, and there's an awful lot of you in the audience. You've made this a success. Thank you.
And the third and last special award by the Board of Directors goes to, well, let me talk about it a little bit. It's been a pleasure with you working, sir. You have carried IGSHPA through the transition process to making it a truly member-driven organization. I've personally enjoyed a lot being on those 3 to 4 hour long phone calls talking about what's the next best thing for IGSHPA. This is the Leadership Impact Award, and it goes to John Turley, our past president.
I consider this a huge honor, but a little bit of a dirty trick. Everything else that I was responsible for at this conference, I was told in advance. But in all seriousness, I believe I expressed yesterday in the opening session, if you were there, or maybe picked up on how I feel about this organization and how I feel about this industry. I can't thank enough the fellow board members who also, we had some 3 and 4 hour phone calls, board meetings, and some real, at times, hard decisions to make, but I think we're all better for it and moving, as I said yesterday, in the right direction. This much I will say to you. I'd also like to thank Dean Kirtley again and the staff, the people who put on this conference. But I'll say to you, as good as this conference is this year, this is just the beginning. We are moving forward. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Kirtley. We'd like for you to say a few words, especially recognizing these last three awards and the effort that they put in. Please.
Thank you, Roshan. Good evening, members, guests, staff. I'm very honored to be able to say just a few words today. And I'd like to begin by expressing my gratitude to all of the recipients tonight. John, for all your work, Jeff, for putting this all together. It's just been fantastic. It has all of the manufacturers that have provided support. This has just been phenomenal. Thank you so much for supporting this. Our role as a university is to create change, to hopefully make the world a little bit better place through our programs, through our faculty. OSU is extremely proud to have played a little part in the development of this industry. I'm very honored to be able to work with people like Jeff and Dan, folks that really pioneered the research, to have this staff that works so hard. And to this day, I'm still amazed by the passion that all of you have for this industry, for the desire to make it better, for your willingness, as we have seen with this conference, to perhaps set aside competitiveness for a few days, to come together and work together to move the industry forward. I think that's the true sign of a profession, is the willingness to come together and work together for the good of the profession. And you have done that. And John, I agree that I think the best is yet to come for this organization. We look forward to working with the board and with all the members. I would just remind you that this is your association. Our role at Oklahoma State is to be here to support you, to do what we need to do to improve the industry, and the bottom line, to sell more units, to sell more pipe, and to make this a profitable, growing industry. And we're committed to help you doing that. Finally, I do want to thank my staff. These 4 people work incredibly hard. Cindy, thank you for taking time to be here to help. This would not have happened without the hard work of that staff and also without the support of the industry. Michael, you and your team, thank you so much. So again, on behalf of Oklahoma State University, congratulations to all of you. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of this industry, part of your team, and we look forward to continuing to serve you in the years ahead.
And to present the next set of awards, I'd like to call Tim back to the podium. Thank you.
Now that the shock is worn off, we're down to the final 2 awards of the night. During rehearsal earlier today, John Thomas gave me a piece of advice, and he said, the key to making a memorable presentation is to move around on stage. And, you know, he's extremely smart and extremely experienced, so the next award goes to, I think it's working. There you go. The next award is the IGSHPA Visionary Award. To help present this award, I'd like to be joined on stage by IGSHPA board member and Waterfitter Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Michael Albertson. The IGSHPA Visionary Award recognizes an individual or group of individuals for a specific new innovation, a noteworthy concept, a significant achievement, or a body of improvements to the geothermal industry. The winner of this year's IGSHPA Visionary Award is Jose Acuna. Jose is a geoenergy researcher with KTH and began Swedish chapter of IGSHPA, as well as initiated the first international IGSHPA conference in Stockholm. Jose is a good example of a researcher who's deeply engaged with the industry and is a pioneer in utilizing research in the application of new projects. Congratulations.
Thank you. So nice. So, as Ed said, Oklahoma State University is here to make a change, and I work at the Royal Institute of Technology, KTH, in Sweden. Our motto is actually Vetenskap och konst, which means in Swedish science and art. And with science, we do art, which is things that transcend or make a change as well. And everything we do it for that. And IGSHPA Sweden, is here to stay, and this is just the beginning. And all the research we do, it's also to make a change and make the industry go forward. This prize is not only for me, there is a lot of people behind, and I would like to thank my professors, Berg Lundqvist and Björn Palm, and many other industrial sponsors which made our research and even the construction of IGSHPA Sweden possible, especially to the Swedish Avanti Drillers Association, who has been doing a great job at taking the IGSHPA Sweden chapter forward. Thank you, and thank you to all the KTH team.
The final award of the night is the IGSHPA Ambassador Award. And to help present this award, I'll be joined on stage by Vitor Gregorio, Regional President of North America for Bosch Thermotechnology. The winner of this year's IGSHPA Ambassador Award is Jack Deanna. Jack is one of the most recognized faces in the ground source heat pump industry and has been an ambassador for the ground source heat pump industry for over 30 years. He has done this in many capacities, including stints at an electric utility, a geothermal installation contractor, the Geothermal Heat Pump Consortium, and as an independent consultant. In addition to his professional work in the industry, he has tirelessly volunteered his time to IGSHPA and many other state organizations and committees. Jack has been a key member of the IGSHPA Conference Committee for many years, and his role has made many people new to the industry feel like they were part of things. Geez, you get 2 pages. Jack Deanna exemplifies a world ambassador and is deserving and receiving of the award that he helped to create many years ago. Congratulations, Jack.
Go ahead. Yeah. Before Jack starts talking, I just want to say a few words because he has a lot to say, and we'll get there. But I didn't want to give this award to Jack without saying a few words about himself and about what he represents to the industry and to me as well. This is on a personal note. Jack was one of the first persons I met when I came to the US and to take over this job. Actually, I met him even before I had taken this responsibility in North America, and we met 2 years ago, roughly 2.5 years ago, at an ASHRAE show, and I was overwhelmed by Jack Deanna. I was overwhelmed. He started talking about things that I had never heard in my whole life and vocabulary that I never heard and I didn't understand by then. Some of those things I understand now, some others I don't. He overwhelmed with new words of Borefield and net zero and geothermal and lots of things that I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And drilling, and I was working for a consumer goods division at Bosch, and drilling for me is, with a drill driver in a wall just to hang on a picture, a portrait. He was talking about drilling bore fields, and I said, look, Jack, I don't know what you're talking about, but you'll learn. And you know what? I have a Geo 1-on-1 that I will send it to you. And Geo 101 is, a polite way to say Geo for dumps. Right, and I got it, and I read it over my flight back to Latin America, where I was working at that time, and I started to learn a bit of geothermal, but I got to know Jack Deanna later when I came back and I took over this responsibility, and I was really impressed with his passion, with his energy, with his experience, and with the way he conveys all that to the industry. Above and beyond who is he talking to, and above and beyond the place, he is always advocating to this industry. So I think that this award could not be in better hands, to be honest. I think he is a real ambassador of this industry. He personifies the geothermal industry, and he does it with pleasure, with passion, and with knowledge. So I'm really honored to be here on stage giving this award to who became a friend of mine in the meantime, Jack Deanna, and to recognize him for his experience and his knowledge, but also for things that you all recognize him as well. His sense of humor, his personality, his endless anecdotes about the Navy and about his barbershop, and the ones I like the most about his ex-wives, right? So the only thing that concerns me, actually, giving this award to Jack is I don't know, and it will be my last sentence, I don't know if he's tall enough to hold so many tags on his badge. So congrats.
Now, who could follow that? Can I put these microphones down? Here we go. For everyone that was going to say that, I figured I'd say it first. Vitor, thanks very much, and it really has been a pleasure. Here's the amazing part about this. This award was my idea 17 years ago, and we have had, and it took me 17 damn years to get it, but we have had, listen to the people that, and there's only a few in here that are going to recognize these names. It's myself, Michael Albertson, Chris Smith, and Charlie Elks if he's here, because we're the only ones left with some of these guys. but Michael's father was the second one to receive this award. So this really means a lot to me. If I was a millennial, I'd be crying right now, but they'd pull me off the stage. But so I'm going to tell you, and you've heard me say this time and time again, this really is special to me. I can't tell you how much it is, but I also can't tell you that we're family here. And for all of us here, we have lifelong friends that we have that I think John Turley's glad he's not president anymore, so he doesn't have to hear me complain to him every other day. But I'll tell you, for the young ones in here, for the younger people in here, and thank God there's a lot of you here now. Whether you're from Sweden like Juha, you're not that young anymore, but I thought I'd mention your name. To all the folks that Jeff Spittler brought over. This has been the best conference that I've ever seen and that I've ever been to. Other than, Phil Shane, I forgot to mention you. For those of us that are really old, one of the best conferences that we've had was Hershey, Pennsylvania. Okay? And if you really want to get known in an industry, pay $1,500 for a half hour of ice cream. The story was I was running HETAC, and my boss said, "Why don't you buy one of the ice cream socials in the afternoon?" And Garen, I'm sorry, I forgot you, but you're older than me, so. But the thing is, so I said, okay, now remember, we're in Hershey, Pennsylvania. For the people that don't live in the United States, that's Choctawtown, USA. So this is a half hour. They put out 15 gallons of ice cream. And as I'm standing with the rest of the staff, the hotel comes up and hands me the bill. And talking with my hands, I happened to open the bill up, and it was for $15,000. Well, that wasn't my exact words. So I said to the gentleman in a very nice voice, I said, "I could really have you killed for less than this." And I ripped the bill up. So then of course, he was a little flustered. He went back out. And I happened to walk out to the ice cream, which were supposed to be sundaes. And everything except chocolate was on the table. We're in Hershey, Pennsylvania. So the way it winds up, I spent $1,500 for there were 7 gallons of ice cream. I guess they were 5-gallon, right, Phil? 5 gallons. So it was only half an hour. There were 600 people. Well, there's a lot of ice cream left over. So the gentleman comes out and said, "What do you want me to do with the ice cream?" I said, "Put it in my bathtub." He said, "You can't put it in your bathtub. Your bathtub isn't refrigeration. Put it in my bathtub." And for 7 days, I had those 7. Now, thank God, I don't want you to think I didn't take a shower. I had 2 rooms. So I became known for how many conferences, Phil? 5 or 6, 7 or 8? Of every time we go to a conference, they say, "Are you going to do the ice cream?" So for the young ones, if you really want to get known, screw up something in this conference because they will never let you forget it. I want to thank IGSHPA for being there. I want to thank you for being a passion. And as far as my ex-wife goes, I'd like to thank her for putting up with me for whatever amount of time that was. I would like to thank my current wife, my last wife, for being there also. But I'll tell you, in all kidding aside, this is family. That's why I can talk like this, although I probably would have talked like this if I didn't know you. But this really means a lot to me. And like I said, if I were sensitive, I'd be crying right now. But I'm not. And one other thing. Garen, thank you very much for not knocking me off a chair this year. Thank you.
So that concludes our awards show. I just want to thank everyone for being here, for traveling in some cases hundreds of miles to celebrate the industry that we all love. I hope that you find increasing benefit year after year because really this conference is about you. So thank you for coming.